Hi, my name is Greg Dixon here, and I'm going to talk to you about the lazy way to financial freedom. And I'm hoping that I'm going to say something today that may change your perspective of the world. And you may not know this about me, but I spent quite a bit of time studying literature. I have a degree in English literature, and my main interest was in the Russian novelists, mostly Dostoevsky and Tolstoy. And I spent a lot of time reading the novels. I've read more novels and poetry and things than probably most people ever will in a lifetime. And one of the things I really found in Leo Tolstoy is he had an ability to get in somebody's head, communicate that in writing, and also capture the moment when their perception completely changed. So there's a character in War and Peace, and basically he's going along. His life is perfectly well. It's not perfect, but he's got a mode of living, and this beautiful woman with a plunging neckline bends over in front of him, and his life is forever changed. Anyway, that sounds like the plot of a lot of romantic comedies, but anyway, there it goes. And probably is most. I don't recommend that you go out and read War and Peace because it's a very long read. And some people find it difficult. But if you're going to read one thing, I'm going to recommend this. It's a short story. It's called The Death of Ivan Ilyich by Leo Tolstoy. I'm going to put a link in the chat here to find it. Maybe I'll do that right now. The full text, the University of Minnesota has the full strength, full text, and I think you can read it in English, you can read it in Russian, and you can read it in, let's see here, comments, posted here, and you can read it side by side. So you're all, I guess I have an interest in this because I was going to learn Russian and do an advanced degree in comparative literature. I never did it, but that was sort of on my list of things that I consider doing with my life. So what I'm going to talk about today is, the whole, let's go back to our topic before we, the lazy way to financial freedom is, we go through life, I think most of us struggle. We work really hard, we're on the hamster wheel, we're working really hard, we're building a career, we're working at jobs, we're doing stuff, and it's part of, that's what our parents did, what everybody did, everybody around you did, and, at the end of it, sometimes some people make some progress, and sometimes people don't. If you look at some families like the Rockefellers and other people, you see, and they have almost infinite wealth. Like they just seem to have more money than they can do anything with, and it just seems to manifest. It just seems to come to them. And yeah, maybe part of that is I'm a subscriber to Abraham Hicks. Basically said you don't really have to struggle. It's just you get in alignment with yourself and your future and abundance, and it'll come to you. There's a Taoist tradition, the sort of the law of least effort. Deepak Chopra also talks about the law of least effort and a number of things. And all, so there is something to this, but there's also something much more prosaic about this. The reason the Rockefellers and people who seem to have much more success with money than perhaps we do is they know how to grow the money. Basically, the idea is you have money work for you. And so I'm going to give a scenario here. Often the financial planners will say, you probably have seen ads on television said, do you have enough to retire? And they'll come up with an estimate of you need $1 million or something in investment in order to retire, savings and all this kind of thing. And the reality is majority of Canadians and Americans really don't have much in the way in savings, maybe not. And, and some may probably not even get out of debt in their lifetime. So that's just not a realistic goal for a lot of people. And it's also a little bit misleading. We have a family situation here. We have an older family member who's fallen, broken a couple of bones, now probably can't continue to live in his home. And he's in relatively good shape, so in terms of financially. So see, he's been retired for a long time. He has a couple of pensions. He has a good health plan. He has benefits through Veterans Care. He was a Navy vet. But the reality is right now he's looking at staying in a place where the expenses are going to be from $6,000 to $10,000 a month, right? And then they're looking at, says, well, okay, they're calculating his net worth right now. It says, well, how many years till that runs out? How many years does it take to hit zero? And one calculation is he'll probably die before he runs out, but maybe not. So it's a concern. If you said to somebody who is a really good money manager, like the Rockefellers, that probably isn't even a problem for them, because they know how to take the assets that they have and grow it. And so, rather than treating this as an expense, is you're growing the money and then getting to the point where you're just simply taking the expenses out of the growth. So I'm gonna talk a little bit about this. I've been involved with with a group of people who have been looking at various blockchain investment, crypto investment platforms, and that basically the idea is that you put some money in, you get money back from various reasons. The simplest one that I'm involved with right now is called CloudFi, and what happens, and they are doing some trading, probably AI assisted trading in the background and generating money, and then they're paying you at least 1.25% per day, 5 days a week. So so this is something that you put the money in, and it generates the money, and then you have an option of reinvesting that money on a daily or weekly basis, or you can take it out. And one of the rules suggestions is that if you put some money into something like this, you take out a percentage of it until you have all of your investment in. But I'm going to hide this one here. I'm just going to talk about the power of compound interest. I think this is something that, along the lines of the death of Ivan Ilyich or Tolstoy, if it's an idea, if you really understand how this works and you know how to use it, you won't really have to worry about this again. I think Albert Einstein said that, talked about the power of compound interest, and most of the people are on the wrong side of compound interest. I've spent a lot of time on the wrong side of compound interest. I've had loans and debt where they charge compound interest, and I've not been on the right side of compound interest for a long time. But that's changing. So I got a little overlay here. I'm going to show you what something fairly simple. I'm going to tell you my financial goal is right now is this little platform. I'm just chipping away at it. I started with $100 and I'm building it up. My first goal was to get to $800, and at $800, I can at least reinvest $50 out of it once a week to create compound interest. And so what I've done, the next goal for me is to reach $8,000. So when I get to $8,000, you get to the point where you can reinvest, basically compound daily or near daily. The platform, this one here, doesn't do it every day. It's Monday to Friday, so it's calculation. So what this does, this is on the calculator site. Many of you you might be good with the financial calculator and future value calculations, but the calculator site has a lot of really good information. And basically what it's saying here is for 8,000, if you did nothing else other than reinvest it every day, the $50 every day, at least $50 for 5 days a week, like it's going to grow. Like you've got $50 one day, and then you got $51 the next day, and then it's just going to go like that. And then if you keep on doing that consistently, it's going to generate basically almost $200,000 in interest in a year. So so that your money can grow to 200,000. For me, if I got to I'd probably get to 100,000, and then I'd probably be taking out half of the earnings to live on, and just continue from there. So the growth would slow down. But it depends on what your goal. Your goal could be millions of dollars. It could be enough to buy groceries or whatever it is. Like you can get there fairly quickly with the compound interest, and it can sustain. So back to the scenario with a family member who's probably going to be in some kind of assisted living facility for the near future, probably going to need some physiotherapy, help, all that kind of thing for the next while. With the assets that he had, if they took even $8,000 of what they've got now, or the family chipped in and created a pool, it could generate enough residual revenue to fund everything for the rest of his life. So that's why, like the Rockefeller families and the families like that, it's just not even, the chance of them running out of money is just not really within their realm of possibility. And what I'm saying is that there are mechanisms now with these platforms that can bring that kind of compounding to you. You probably have heard lots of really fantastic stories about insane returns. And for some people, 1.25% a day is a insane return. But I'm just going to say I've seen it myself. I experienced it myself, and it can work if you've spent any time day trading. A really good day trader can easily make 5% a day, with a lot of skill. And what's happened with these trading platforms is AI. And I'm just going to mention, AI is probably going to put most people out of work. So the hamster wheel that you're on right now may not even be available for you at some point. So you might as well make friends with the devil and have AI work for you in generating some revenue, so that you don't have to worry about it. So it's going to be traveling or supporting your family or any of those kinds of things, doing hobbies, whatever it is that makes you happy. So I have to say that these platforms can be risky. We've seen a couple of go poop in the night. So if you can find 3 such platforms that generate a decent percentage every day, and spread it across those 3, and you're paying attention. If any get to be a bit questionable, then pull your money out and put in something else. And with these rated returns, even if one of them went poop, you're still going to be way further ahead than if you just simply had your money sitting in a bank, not any interest at all, hardly. So this is really worthwhile, and the CloudFi that I've been using right now, you can start with $50 to see if it works for you. Really, I started with 100, and then I've been adding a little bit here, maybe $50 a week, or once in a while 100, a little bit more, and to get it up now I'm at 800. And that 800 isn't stuff that I put in it. A lot of it is the money the system itself has generated, and I've just returned it back in. So it's compounding. I'm already seeing compounding value. it's earning the equivalent of a coffee and a donut or a coffee and bannock a day. And I my next one goal is I wanted to be able to generate enough money so that we can buy gas for the RV and travel. Like we can travel enough to put it in a day at a time, and just go in infinitely. And then if we get to the point for me, if it's generating about $200 a day that I can take out, then really that covers most of my living expenses, and I don't have to. I can do things that I want to do, and back to the hamster wheel. You may have a business, maybe you just absolutely love what you're doing. You're serving people, you're creating things, and you have a business, and you're doing all your stuff, and that's great. I'm just sort of saying this can be a side non-hustle that you put some money in there, grow it, and go from there. And I just realized that I'm kind of running out of time, so here's something. I got a little bit more information at gregdixon.net, CloudFi, and about this CloudFi. And again, it's one of many platforms. The group I'm in, there's two main ones. The other one's GS Partners, and that also seems extremely rock solid at the moment. And if you're interested, just reach out, contact me. You're probably watching this on LinkedIn or Facebook or maybe even Twitter, now X. Anyway, just reach out and have a discussion with me, and I'll show you what I'm doing, and I can show you what it's doing for other people. So anyway, at that, I'm going to let you all go, and thanks for joining me today. Thank you. Bye.